Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Patrik Forsstrom. I'm quite new to Hong Kong. I've been here about 1.5 years, enjoyed doing business here and working for Cathay Pacific really a lot. Before joining Cathay Pacific, I worked for the Finnish national carrier Finnair for about 15 years, both in IT and financial shared services. So I have an IT and business background. If you look at airlines, we are traditionally very data rich. Already the first data warehouses in airlines, both in Cathay Pacific and Finnair, were created maybe 15, 20 years ago and are still of the highest importance, maybe what we can then call small data, which is the structured data. Today, of course, the business is changing a lot, and completely new data sources are emerging. It can be social data or social media. It can be the different new sales channels, which are then your web sales or your mobile devices sales. And one of the biggest differences in airlines is that today our users, the consumers, our customers are basically 24/7 expecting to get high quality service when they want to interact with an airline. And also the expectation is to get much more personalized service than ever before. And this is why airlines across the globe are heavily investing in business intelligence and analytics based on then both big data and small data. So I didn't put a lot of technical things here. I thought I will talk through a couple of use cases we have in the airline industry for data and analytics. So one major issue for airlines is the fuel consumption, and what we need to figure out is really how to be able to optimize the fuel usage on a flight, or also how much fuel we will take onto a flight before taking off. So there's a lot of data and analytics behind it. In Cathay Pacific's case, we have decided to work together with the engine manufacturers on this analytics. So our vision is not that we will be able to create the smartest algorithms for fuel optimization, but our idea is that we will use service suppliers, in our case, Rolls-Royce, to provide us insights and then combine it back, the data, the new insights that we are able to derive with the services into our own environment to do further analysis and further optimization on the fuel consumption. And of course, also in future, I hope that we can merge together the consumption part, the procurement part, and maybe even the hedging part. So getting more insights around one of the major cost elements in an airline is of highest importance. Then if you look at some other cases, I briefly mentioned already that it's all about providing relevant offers to our customers. So I truly believe in a segment of one. So of course, segmentations into larger segments are important, but we are all as consumers or customers different. So I think it's really important for airlines to understand exactly who we are interacting with and provide really relevant offers. So and of course, the same customer might be going on a business trip. The needs are very different from when you go on a leisure trip. So this is also very important for us to understand in which context you contact us so that we can offer you the most relevant offer and the best experience on the flight and also when you interact with an airline. Another very important area which is now enabled by having the aircrafts connected to the internet. Of course, the older generation of aircrafts already had a way of communicating with the base and manufacturers like Airbus in this case, but the new generations of planes are already connected to the internet and has a lot of sensors measuring everything you can possibly imagine. So we could improve the service process or engineering process, much more preventive maintenance, and also understand how the assets are behaving. So in this case, I have an Airbus 350. it's one of the most advanced aircrafts on the market today, which is basically a flying computer. It has so much information in it and can really create a lot of insights, which I think is still not fully utilized. Then I took my other airline I worked for, Finnair, which is also a partner of Cathay Pacific. So both airlines are in the same alliance, and Finnair is also operating to Hong Kong on daily flights to Helsinki. For Finnair, a lot of analytics went in to provide more insights into the agent sales so that we could stop revenue leakage. And of course, now with big data, this is still the traditional small data. Maybe somebody would call it a bit robotics, because we are automated at Finnair a lot of back office processes with computer software. But in the future, I think for credit card fraud and loyalty fraud, which is increasing problem for airlines globally, data can provide much more insights, and we can prevent a lot of losses. Then I mentioned the new generation of aircrafts that collect a lot of information. Already the older generation of aircrafts, like Airbus 330, 340 or 777 Boeing, has a lot of sensors which are collected to what we call the flight recorder. And by utilizing and tapping into the flight recorder data, we can do a lot of optimization. I know some of the airlines in mainland China already have direct data feeds from these monitors to their data center, so that they can actually monitor how much deviations a flight has from its planned path and what it's actually conducting, so to optimize and understanding the fleet network performance much better. So I think already with the older generation of assets, we can collect a lot of data and insights. Then one thing I think is very underutilized at the moment is the opportunity for airlines and the other service provider for travel and transportation. In this case, my example is now Frankfurt Airport, that has integrated its data with the airlines to provide much more insight, which actually will not only benefit the customer, the traveler itself, also the airlines and the airports and the different service providers, restaurants and tax-free shops, because if we track the customers and understand where they are moving, we can avoid queuing in security checks, passport control, but also make sure that they get the relevant offers wherever they move around the airport. Another thing is then the service equipment. So most of the heavy equipment on an airport have GPS connectivity, and we know the location. And a problem has been for many airports for the staff to actually locate the equipment they are supposed to use. So they have to look around the airport, where is the tow truck. And with the location information, we can improve the process a lot, and that will have significant cost savings. And for this example, for Frankfurt Airport, I know that Cathay Pacific and Hong Kong Airport are in talks about sharing more information. And I think it is a brilliant idea, and it will benefit all of the players, both the airlines, or airline in this case, and the airport and the customers. So I just had a couple of use cases I wanted to share with you. I'm happy to answer any questions at a later stage if you have some, and thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you.